Good day, everyone. This is Tracy Milianas Blanco. In the movie, how community molded the child's outlook in reaching his dreams through education. As I've watched the movie, I was struck by how the community shaped the child's perspective on achieving his goals through education. The parents' lack of support for their kids and their belief that helping them in work to sustain their daily needs was preferable than enrolling them in school made me sad to hear. But here are two passionate, committed, and courageous teachers who support kids in gaining a positive understanding of how every child's goal should be treated as a priceless treasure and as being significant to them. The two teachers served as a kind of motivation for all kids by demonstrating the value of education for all kids. As we can see, the houseboat branch of Ban Gaeng in Thailand had a class size of just 4 students, and the houseboat was situated in a rural location in the midst of a lake. It was motivational and worthwhile to watch this film since it will teach children to choose optimism in life and to keep pursuing their goals regardless of their circumstances. Next question is differentiate the different strategies used by Mr. Song and Miss Anne. Show it in tabular form. So we have here name of teachers and teacher strategies. First is Mr. Song. Because Mr. Song is still learning, his teaching methods can occasionally be a little bit perplexing for his students. But as time goes on, he inspires them to never give up on their aspirations. Mr. Song is a slightly humorous teacher who constantly seeks for opportunities to make the world a better place and put smiles on children's faces. Next one is Miss Anne. She is a wonderfully patient teacher, as seen by the fact that when she teaches math subject to her students, she never hesitates to repeat the topic in order to ensure that the lesson is comprehended by all of her students. Miss Anne is more competent, bolder, more intelligent than Mr. Song. Expound your ideas as one of the student in teacher education. Many were called, but few were chosen in the teaching field. For me, the reason why the saying, many were called, but few were chosen, applies to the teaching profession is that we were put to the test, and God challenged us to determine whether we were strong enough to handle the various situations that face teachers. At that point, God could determine whether you were truly committed to and passionate about your work. Your students being able to learn something is what matters the most to you. In fact, you never care if you get a high or low salary. Enumerate common problems both countries facing in education. Give some solutions to this. We have the budget for education, lack of facilities, dropout rate, having lack of support from their parents. I think the best way to deal with this is I do hope that the government would act or would take an actions when it talks about education, and it would be of tremendous assistance to those teachers if we could give them the impression that each and every child has special talents that they all share. If I were to become a teacher in the future, I would look forward to visit to my students from their prospective homes whose parents refused to let them attend to school, or show little support for them. And with that, I reassure them that they may put all their trust in me as long as they let their children to emerge out of their different shells and develop into their own distinct versions of who they will eventually become.
Reflect. What are the similarities of the two movies shown in terms of teaching, learning? Enumerate.
Motivate students, dedicated, strong and brave, passionate. So these four are the similarities of the two movies shown in terms of teaching and learning. They are excellent teachers, and all I can say to them is that their commitment and enthusiasm for teaching have motivated me.